Hello, this is Darren Sodrinsky from Intranet Mobile Media, and I am going to show you how to configure to load Ubuntu on a brand new PC to get it ready for the Oracle virtual drives. Let's proceed. Okay, so this is a brand new PC just out of the box here. I just got a box. I just loaded it up. I started it up without the internet, so there's no internet connection, and there wasn't one during the process. I just got it up, so it logged in, and had all the language settings and everything done. Now what we're going to do is, before even connecting to the internet, we're going to actually do two things here. First of all, we're going to create from a disk, from a flash drive, we're going to create a bootable flash drive with Ubuntu on it. And then we're going to come to this machine with something called Belarc Advisor. And Belarc Advisor is going to tell us what the key, what the Windows key is and what version it's on there. So that way, if we ever want to restore this thing back to its original Windows with a key and that, we can do that. We need that tool to tell us what it is. So what I use here, I'm using a Windows machine, and what it has on here is Belarc Advisor, of course. I'm using Rufus 3.3p exe, and just so you understand that inside of Rufus, right off the bat, this is an older version, I think, of Rufus. You need to download previous, unless you already have it, syslinux -6.03. Inside of here you'll see that there's BSS and a sys file. It needs that. Okay, so there's a different version here, but you're going to need these files for the Rufus right there. And the Ubuntu version, we're going to install the Linux version. Ubuntu Linux version is 16.04.5, and it's desktop version 32-bit. And the reason I use 32-bit is because that can be installed on any PC, anyone whatsoever. You don't need to have to worry about a 64-bit machine. 32 works, and 32 is fast enough. It works fast enough. So just so you know, the machine is fast. It's 32-bit, still works fast. The difference between the 64 is not significant unless you're gaming. So okay, but in this case we're web serving. So okay, so that's this is, we're going to create a bootable flash drive first because we want to install it on a new PC. Okay, so let me try to plug this in with one hand. Okay, you notice I just plugged it in. There it is up there. Okay, so it's G, drive G. I'm just going to close the window that it booted from. We're going to start up. We're just going to start up Rufus. You can see it saying, do you want to do it? Of course I do. Okay, so now it's going to take, and you can see right here, it's Rufus 3.3.1400 portable version, and I'm taking the 16 gig flash drive that I'm using. That's what I'm using. I'm going to select the ISO. I'm selecting the from my area there, my 16.04.5 desktop 32-bit ISO. I'm selecting that one. That's what I did. Partition scheme, we leave it the way it is. We come down here, change FAT32 to NTFS. It's just so it handles bigger files better. Leave the label showing that it's Ubuntu 16.04 LTS version. So when every time you see the label there, you'll know that this is a bootable version of Ubuntu 16 LTS. Okay, so I'm just going to start it here. of course, it's just saying, do you want to, it's recommending using the ISO image file copy mode instead of the image. Of course, that's recommended. That's what I use. Now it's just saying it's going to nuke everything on the floppy drive, or excuse me, on the thumb drive, which is fine. And of course, we're going to do it. So off it goes. Now it's going to. Now what it's doing is it's taking this little guy right here. You see my finger? Oh, there it is. See my finger? So now it's taking, this is the guy that it's working on. And now what we're doing is we're creating a bootable thumb drive using, again, Rufus 3.3.1400 portable. That's the Rufus version. And we are installing, making a bootable flash drive with Ubuntu 16.04.5-desktop-i386 ISO, which is the 32-bit version of Ubuntu 16. And again, this is what we're doing. And we're creating this bootable thumb drive so we can install Ubuntu onto this new laptop. Okay, so on this new laptop, we're just going to confirm using Belarc Advisor. We're going to copy Belarc Advisor onto this thumb drive, and then when we install it on, or when we load it on here, on the new machine, we're just going to run it just to confirm the version of Windows it's on here. The service pack or service packs or whatever, build packs or build of the Windows, and the key. We need the product key. So in case we ever want to put this back the way it was, which we don't want to, but just in case, that's why I do it. Product keys are hard to come by, so you know, you get one with the purchase of your laptop. So I hold on to it, but basically this is the whole point of this. Okay, so I'll come right back once this guy has been built, and we'll proceed. Okay, so if you notice, it says that it's complete, it's ready. Basically, we should have a bootable flash drive. We'll just close this now. Okay, so now what we're going to do quick is, so we've got it up here on the screen. So here it is. Now what we're going to do is just load Belarc Advisor here. We're going to copy this guy onto this bootable drive. Paste. And the reason why we're doing that, like I said, is because I want to be able to see I want to see what the key is on that new machine, and the version, the exact version of the Windows. So okay, let's remove G, which is this. Okay, let's just close G here. Okay, so now we're going to pull the drive up. Just give me a second here. Oh man, it's painful sometimes. Okay, we're going to go to the new machine here. Again, like I said, this thing was just, you know, booted up without internet or anything. It was just, you know, getting the language and the region and everything, the time stuff up. Okay, so here's the drive. Now we're going to go to this, if you notice, we're going to go to this Belarc Advisor. And what we're going to do is we're just going to install it. Let's go agree, install. No, I don't want to get definitions. See, we're not on the internet, we're just trying to, we don't want to be on the internet because the internet corrupts. So basically all these tools and things are just so we can get this all loaded up without internet and have it, you know, use it with use it as the web server for your home network or your mobile media network. server. But we got to get rid of Windows. Windows has so much garbage in it. So it's just analyzing right now. I don't know if you can see that. It's just checking the computer out. And we don't care about the network and all that, but that's what it's doing. Okay, so here we go. We got this HTML that's created by this program. Now all we want to do is oh, right. What we need to do is find out where it is. It should be, okay, so under Program 20 Files, you can see up here. Let's copy this for a second before we nuke it. So what we want to do is go, where's Notepad? Let's type Notepad, okay. Okay, so this is the HTML. What we're going to do is we're going to grab a copy of it. Just open Explorer here for a second. Okay, so basically this is just the thumb drive right here, and we just went into Belloc Advisor, and what we did was, I'm just going to close all this stuff now. It basically just took this HTML right now, which has got all your info on here, like example. Here's your Windows, build and its version and build of the Windows 10 Home that's on the system. It gives you serial numbers and stuff, and then down as it goes. I'm not going to go down there, but it's got the product key and stuff. It just throws this HTML onto the thumb drive. Okay, so we're done with that. So this is good because like I said, we have the info on this machine. Thumb drive still on the system, right? So all we're going to do now is we're going to go into the BIOS, which we need to do that to set up the boot order, so boots off of the thumb drive, and we also want to set the security, like the password on the BIOS supervisor, just so that way it's the same as what we've set up here for the login for this guy, just so somebody doesn't come in and starts messing with your stuff, you know what I mean, like start making changes. Okay, so let's go here. We're just gonna do a restart. Basically we're just restarting. And this is the new PC. Once it blanks out here, then we'll start pushing F2. F2 is the one for the PC BIOS setup utility. We just start pushing F2. I'm hitting F2 if you can see that. Okay, so here we are. We're in the screen, right, which is the BIOS screen. So I'm going to go to security. I'm going to set the supervisor password. Right now I'm just going to set it. Hit enter, and new password, and this is going to be my login to my Windows. The same login that I already chose for it. We're going to do this again. Okay, it's asking me to confirm. Okay. We're just doing this just to make sure that, we're going to be safe. Nobody's going to mess with us. I mean, we're already in here. Might as well just set it up, right? Okay. Just have to be saved. Continue. Okay. So we set up our supervisor password, which is the same as our login password. Now we're going to go to boot order. We come down here to the boot mode. This thing always these new ones seem to use this boot manager, which we can't use to do a boot boot off of the USB. It just doesn't do it. I tried already. It won't automatically boot off a USB, so we need to change it from UEFI to legacy. Hit enter and blah blah blah. Okay. Available boot devices will not change until reboot. Okay. So now what we want to do is to do it says down here F10 is a save and exit. And if you can see that down there, so we're going to do an F10 and save configuration and exit. That way now what we've done is we've saved so basically it's okay, here we go. Okay, so you can see now it's going to boot off of should be booting off of the USB right now. There it is. So again, it's booting up off of the bootable thumb drive. Excuse me. And the supervisor password's already been set, which is good, which is fine. Okay. Okay, so there. So now we're going to do some. We want to install Ubuntu. That's what we want to do. So. I don't want to connect to a Wi-Fi right now. Continue. No installing. No, don't install third-party software. You don't need that stuff. Again, we're just doing this so we can have this thing as a server to our media files. So we don't want internet stuff. Okay, so now here we go. So erase disk, install Ubuntu. So this is what it's going to do. So now when we choose this, which is we have to choose this if we want to install Ubuntu, it basically nukes the Windows. So be aware, this is the last chance. And of course I do want to do that. So I want to install now. Okay, it's just telling me how it's going to partition stuff, which is fine. Continue. Where are we? Well, we're around Vancouver. We want an English US keyboard. Okay, my name, this is the example of the version. Okay, and then I'm gonna put in the password. And again, this is the same password that we just did for the supervisory password, which we did for the Windows prior. Okay, so you're putting in I want to make sure it's the same. Remember, it needs to be the same as what you just did the BIOS to, which is what you had your Windows set to. Password. And you want to require a password for login. Okay. So now you know that the Windows password you had before is been set on your BIOS and on your new Ubuntu. Because you won't have Windows anymore, right? So this is the Ubuntu password now. But it needs to be the same. And again, this is a 32-bit version, even though you got a 64-bit machine. The reason for it, like I said, everything I've got here works on a 32, which means it'll work on any machine anywhere, including your old machines. You can use the same process right now to install this on your old machines if you want to. You use it as part of as part of your servers that are working. Okay, so I'm going to just sign off for a minute while this is loading, and then I'll catch you when it's closer to the end. Okay, so the installation's complete. This is the Ubuntu installation. You can see it's complete. It's asking to restart. This is on the new PC, of course, with using, you know, the bootable stick. Now, before we restart, we're going to pull the stick out. So let's pull the stick out. Okay, so we pull the stick out. You can see it's right here. Okay, we'll set it down there. Now what we'll do is we'll do a restart. So now we're going to wait on it. Hopefully it completed, and then we'll boot. Everything at the beginning, always at the beginning, takes just a little longer because there has to be like configuration and you know, like ionize and whatever else they use in there for installing. It doesn't act funny when we when it's being used as a server. Okay, we're going to log in. Alrighty. Okay, so when you come in here, you go to this little, see it says right there, system settings. Just go in there. And we're just going to go through each one, actually. Which one do I choose? I think I choose the black one. Yeah, that's the one I choose. Okay. So black hole, brightness. What do I do there? Brightness is full. I always make it full. I dim after 1 hour, and we take the lock off. Okay, so that's what we do here. You can see that. Let's go to the next one. Language support we don't need. Online accounts we're not going to be doing. Security and privacy. Okay, so security and privacy. So waiting for suspend. We don't need to worry about any of this stuff. Files and applications. We turn all this off. Okay. Diagnostics. We uncheck these guys. Okay, because we don't want unnecessary processes and things going on. Okay, so that's all good. So now we go to Bluetooth. Okay, we turn that off. We're not going to be doing any Bluetooth stuff. You don't need to show it. Okay, next is network. Okay, so wireless we're going to turn off. We're not going to be doing wireless because we're going to be connecting to wired right to the router. So that's off. Okay. Power. Where are we? Power. So on power. When suspend when active. When the lid is closed. Okay, sorry. When the lid is closed, we do nothing, regardless of whether it's plugged in or not. So when the lid is closed, do nothing. Okay, so that's what we want there. Sound and mute. Sound and mute. Sound and mute. Right. Oh, sorry. We want to mute because we're not going to have sound coming through there. And we don't want it showing. We don't need it showing. Okay, backups off. Backups, where are we? Okay, so it's sitting on off, which is good. Yeah, it's got to be on off, which is good. Okay, so that kind of sets it up. So what we're going to do now is we're going to just going to close this down right now. Now what we're going to do is take our stick and we're going to load, plug it into our other box right now, which you could have had this already ready, but anyhow I didn't, so showing you from scratch, plugging it in. So here we are. I am going to, you know that we had, where is it here? Okay, we did have Bellark in here. Remember, right here? We had Bellark right there, which we used when we wanted this thing to tell us what the Windows key was and the build and everything of the Windows. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take Oracle VirtualBox. We're going to copy, put it on the stick, same bootable stick. So I guess could have been done earlier as well, but I'm just showing you the steps and what's in, and then I'll show you what's in there. Basically, we want to get Oracle working on this new image, this new PC right now. You need to get Oracle VirtualBox running so we can install all our virtual drives and then have this thing run them. So in this VirtualBox, you'll see there are 3 things here. So there is let me just show you this libsd SDL, I believe it is, deb, which is a library used for VirtualBox. This VirtualBox, again, these are all 32-bit ones, and the extension pack. So that's what you need. All that. Okay, so now we're going to we're going to exit this thing, unmount it. Okay, so we'll unmount it, grab it. Just 1 second. This is painful. Okay, so now we're going to put it on over here, around this one. I'm going to mount it over here. Okay. Oops. Okay. So, let's see. Okay. Here this guy is. Okay, so now what we're going to do is this Oracle VirtualBox, and let's just do a copy. Let's just put it right on the desktop here. Okay, now we can close this guy down for a minute. So here we go. So we got him on there. Now what we're going to do is, first of all, we need to run the library, the lib one first. So to run these guys, install them, we have to use terminal. I'm going to we'll go into switch computer here. We type term. Okay, there's terminal. You just run it like this. Just go over here because you're going to need this again, and we want to lock to launcher. There we go. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to first install, let's go ls, let's find out where we're sitting. Okay, so CD, desktop, that's where we just put this guy. Okay, but we're sitting in Oracle Virtual. So CD. Oracle. Sorry. One-handed. Okay, so we're sitting in VirtualBox right now, which is where these files are, right? So now we're going to use this. We're going to use our mouse. We're going to just highlight this. Can you see that? I'm right-clicking. I'm going copy. And what we want to type now is sudo dpkg space -I space, and then just do a right click to paste. There we go. Okay, so now we're going to do the lib SDL first, the library one. Yes, that's what we do first. Oh, right. You gotta type in your password. This is the login password. Because you're doing whatchamacallit, an admin thing. Okay, so it unpacked and loaded those guys on there. Now we want to do the same thing with the VirtualBox one. So let's go and we're going to do the virtual. Highlight this guy. Oops, it's not so easy, especially with one hand. Okay, now we go sudo -I, oops, wrong, dpkg -I. Okay, and then we do paste VirtualBox deb. Okay, you see that there? Okay, it's unpacking. And again, I'm using VirtualBox 5.2 _ 5.2.18. So basically, this is, again, we're installing VirtualBox on Ubuntu, and we need to do this so we can have our virtual drives controlled by Ubuntu. There we go. Alrighty. So now let's see here. Now let's go to searching up here, and we're going to type virt. There it is. You can see it's right there. And voila. Here's the manager. Okay, so we need to install the virtual. I don't know if it'll let me install the file preferences, if it'll let me install the service with the extension pack right away or not, but let's just try. File, we got preferences, extensions. Let's go plus. Gonna go up on desktop. Oops. Oh, there it is. Okay, good. Okay, it's saying install. Blah 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 blah. I agree. Password, of course. This is your login password, right? Oops. Okay. Installing this. Okay. Was installed successfully, you see? Okay, so good. So, alright, so we're pretty much done here with this. Just give me a moment. As soon as I gather my thoughts here, I'll find out here exactly what's next to do. Basically, let's just shut this down. I'm going to log right out so you can see. We're kind of done with all this stuff right now. So I'm just going to shut down, and then we'll start it back up again with the next move. Okay. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back. I removed the flash drive from there, and I just booted up. I just logged in. This is what it's looking like when I first log in here again. Let's just go find that virtual box in there again, because right there, I'm going to start it up. Okay, so what we want to do is just right click on this guy and lock to launcher, because we want that guy. We want the launcher. So what we have to do now is basically I have to grab those virtual drives, bring them over here, and then we need to run them. At the same time, we need to log into the router. So let me go get a copy. I'm going to do a backup from my other machine, and I'm just going to use those backup copies right onto this machine right away, and hook up to a router. Okay. So what's next? Hang in there, and then we'll proceed to get them, the virtual drives running. But this thing is so fast already, you can tell it's so fast. I'm not worrying about the little bit of stuff that's coming up at the beginning. That's not a big deal. And I just wanted to show you something here too about this computer. It's just going to show you right now. So. Memory, we got almost 8 gigs. It's a good 2+ gigahertz machine. Here's the OS type again, 32-bit, which is what we did, and we got approximately a terabyte of data on free data on this thing too. So we're going to load one of the hard drives. A local hard drive. We're going to load it on this local machine, so it's going to use up some of this gig or some of this terabyte, but the other two drives will be sitting on an external. Okay, so I'll show you. We'll just proceed on with that. Okay, so that you've already got it to this point. You've got brand new machine, and it's got Ubuntu and Oracle VirtualBox on here ready to go. Okay, all right, next. Okay, so I'm back here. So we've copied one of three virtual hard drives. So this is the local one that'll be on this PC. So we copied, it's 640 gig, and it was copied to the local hard drive, which is about 1 terabyte. Remember, we did take a look about the computer here, which told us, gave us some info, and you can see right here it's a terabyte. It's about a terabyte. This new PC, and this local drive that we just copied on, which is the VHD. It's called local.vhd virtual hard drive, is about 640. So it leaves still plenty of room on here for other stuff if it needs to. But this is the local one. This is the local hard drive that you want to back up on occasion. But this is when I create these things, I create a virtual hard drive, a local virtual hard drive, as well as the two external virtual hard drives sitting on the external hard drive. Okay, so we're just going to go here and we're going to make a connection to this one. This will be a new name. This is going to be called local. You see that right now? Of course, it's Linux, Ubuntu 32, of course. You can see that right now. Next. So we're going to give it about 1792. Yeah. Actually, we'll go down a little bit. Give it 1664 megabytes for now. We'll probably give it more after for memory size. So we'll just say 1664 for now. Okay, and we want to use, how do we want to use an existing? We're going to do a search. Oh, shoot. Should have just went there. Okay, so there we are. Okay, so now we got the local box right there. So there's the local hard drive. Okay, we selected it. If you can see that, I had to go IMM0002, which is the user. Then we went to the desktop, so that's why. Okay, so we open 640, which is the local we want to create. And there we go. Okay, so now we're going to go into settings, system. It's still sitting at 1664, which is all good. We don't change any of the display. Storage is fine. Audio is fine. Network. We go to network and we change this to bridged adapter. Go advanced. And we allow all. And we'll have to make, I'm going to say OK for now. But we're going to have to do this under network here, under advanced. We're going to have to take this MAC address and we're going to have to make sure that that's set in the router, because this will be the IP, the 100 IP, which is like the 192.168.59.100, and that one's going to need to be assigned to this MAC address right here, okay? Because this is the local one. So can't do that yet. I wonder if I can change this to 3. Sure, it looks like I can. Okay, should be okay. Okay, so we got the local set up for now. I want to wait until we get the external hard drive, and then we'll set that up, and we'll get the MAC addresses, and then we'll make a connection to the router and make sure that they're connected to that those MAC addresses. After we do that, then we'll just start it up and see if it runs. It should actually run. We should be able to have these guys running without having to do all the configuration. And this is how I create a new workstation, like a new server for you. Basically, the virtual hard drive is all ready to go with all the stuff on there that I create for you. Okay, so next step here is let's wait until we get the external drive with the 2 virtual hard drives on it, and then we'll connect it, and then we'll go from there. Okay, bye for now. Okay, so we're back. So now what we got is the new PC. We've got the local virtual hard drive on there. We've got it the virtual box manager showing it. Now what we're going to do is we made a connection here, Ethernet connection to the router. You can see that. I've got it plugged in. My router's over there. And we're going to plug in the hard drive. Plug in the hard drive right now, the external hard drive with the movie server and web server on it. Okay, so you just give me a second to do that. Okay, I'm back. So you can see right there, I've got it plugged into the USB 3 right now. It's just behind here. I don't know if you can see it. So the external hard drive's plugged in. It popped up on the screen right here. You can see on there. Sorry, I'm one-handed. You can see right there. So there's the movie server and the web server virtual hard drive. So 1.4 for the web server terabyte and 2.2 terabyte for the movie server. So we're just going to, I'm just going to just minimize this for a moment here. Okay, so now we've got the external. Now we're going to go here too and set it up on the Oracle VirtualBox Manager. We need to create a new one. We're going to call it, I'm going to call it web server. I'm sorry, I got things in my way here. Let's go web server. Okay, you can see that. Of course, it's Linux. It's a Ubuntu 32. I'm going to go, and here again I'm going to select 1664. I might go bigger or smaller later. This is for the memory size, RAM memory size. I've got 8 gigs on this PC, so you know, you can give each one close to at least 2 gigs for memory size, and I've got it at 1664. Next, use existing. Okay, so now we're going to go to go to the computer. I'm going to go to media, my passport. Okay, so there we went. Now we're going to go, this is the web server. And we say we open. Okay, and the web server is created. Okay, so now we're going to go into, actually, we're going to go into settings, but to tell you the truth, I want to just wait here a minute. I'm going to, let's do the movie server first. Let's get that connected, and then we'll do that. So okay, so let's go movie server now. Movie server. Okay, so it says movie server. Of course, we're going to select Linux, Ubuntu 32 again. Again, let's just bring it up to the same as the other, which is 1664 for memory. Go next. Use existing. This time we're going to do movie server, 2 terabyte. Okay, we're going to create. Okay, so there we go. Now something I want to do, I want to not only do I need to make a couple of settings changes on these virtual drives, but I need to prepare my router for these drives. First thing I want to do is I just want, if you go right here and you just right click on here, create a new document, just to do an empty document. Okay, and then I'm going to name it Mac addresses. Can you see that? I named it Mac addresses. The reason for that is this. First, let's go and open it. So I just double clicked it and bring it up here. So first we want to get is the PC. I just want to make sure it's got the let's get the PC MAC address first. That's this local PC that we're looking at right here. So if you go up here right now to I'm just clicking on this the arrow up and down to get the Ethernet connection information. You can see right there. So hardware address is your MAC address. So I'm highlighting that. Right click, copy, just paste it in here. Okay, so that's your PC. So now we can close that. So that's your PC MAC address. And we always set that one up, just a sec here, we always set that one up as 192.168. It'll be 59.149. This is always going to be the case, okay? Now let's do the local. Oops. We're gonna get the local MAC address. Sorry about moving it around, but I'm kind of stuck with it only in one hand. And this camera doesn't want to work properly. It wants to zoom in. Okay, so we're going to go over here now to the settings on the local one. If you notice, it's the local settings. We're just going to go right away to the system's already set. We can see we got that. Storage is all good. Audio. We're going to go network. We go advanced. We made sure we set it to bridged adapter, and then we set the promiscuous mode to allow all. Here's where the MAC address is. So I'm going to right click on this and copy. Okay, I'm going to paste it in here. Now you notice you got, it's just a straight number, alphanumeric type number. We're going to throw in a colon in between every second character to identify it as an official MAC address, because that's how they see them. Systems see them. Every second one, you can see I just added the colon, and then the local one will always have an IP of 192.168.59.100. Okay, now my bell's ringing. I'll be right back. I just got something to do quick. Okay, I'm back. So what we did was, like, we identified the MAC address for the PC and the local. Now we'll do the web server. Okay, so just a sec here. Web server. We're also going to do it for the movie server. Again, sorry, but I'm one-handed. Okay, so now let's go. So this is good for this guy. So now let's go to the web server. Let's go to the settings. Again, the system should be fine. Yes, let's go to the network. We're going to change this to bridged adapter, advanced, allow all. Here's the MAC for the web server. Let's do a copy, paste it in here. Let's go every second character there. We just throw in a colon, make it look like a real address. You see what I'm doing? Okay, and of course the web server will always be for an IP. These are constant IPs, like they're static. Okay, so that's what we need, is static ones. 101. Okay, so now let's go back over here. We're gonna say OK. Actually, let me just go back here for one more second. Let's go to the USB. Let's change that to 3. Okay, so now we go movie server. Oops. I go again. That's 16, which is good. Let's go to this. Change it to bridged adapter. Allow all. There's the MAC. Copy that. Okay, let's paste it in here. This is the document. You just want to, it's just so it makes it easier. You can hold on to it. It shouldn't change as long as you keep using the same virtual hard drive and I guess same location that it's at. You only have to do this once, really. You don't even have to really do it, but I'm just doing it because I need a record. I want a record. It makes it easier to do the configuration. 168.59, and this will always be 102. Okay, so I'm just going to save this just to make sure it's saved, and then we come over here and we do OK. Okay, so we're good there. Okay, so now before we start this thing up, I just want to make sure that it's going to be the router is going to give it the proper MAC address and that. So you might have already logged onto your router. I've actually I've got my router IP is a 192.168.59.2 on this one. You know, they could be all different, whatever you set it to. Okay, so I'm just going to log into my admin page. This is using Firefox. I'm just using that URL, like I said, to log in to the router directly. Where is it again? Okay, that's so. Just logging in here. Oh, what did I do? I'm not sure if my caps lock might have been on actually. Oh, yeah. Don't forget, things are always case sensitive, so there we go. Okay, I never want my browsers to save my stuff. So we go to network settings. Okay, so again, I'm just showing you. Here's my router IP address. That's the URL I was using. Okay, so on my DHCP service settings, of course, I enable it and I make it start at 100 and go 149. That's usually enough. And I'm just going to get rid of these guys because I'm going to start right from scratch for you. I want to start from scratch, so I want to show you that I don't have any reservations right now. There's some dynamic setting stuff, but don't worry about that. That's just telling you DHCP clients that not to worry. Okay, so we're going to reserve some addresses here. So let's start with the computer first. Computer name happens to be this guy right here. And I'm going to, again, if you look at my paper here, my PC, it's a 98, 28, 27, 03 CE. You can see that it's actually right there. I want to make sure that it's always going to IP 49, 192, 59, 192, 168.59, 149. Okay, so now I add an update. Okay, so you can see down here that it's going to, there it is right there. Okay, so now we're going to go to, we're going to do the local one, right? So let's grab the MAC address. We're going to grab the MAC address right here. I'll just do a copy, and I'm going to make it at 100. So we're going to enable it. Call it local. Oops. We're going to call it local. IP address is 192.168.59.100. It's always going to be the local, just like what I just said. Let's paste the MAC address in there, do an add update. Okay, so we should be able to see it there. Okay, so there's the local. Now we're going to do the web server. Oops. And the web server is going to be 101. So we enable. And go web server. Okay, so 192.168.59.101 MAC address. Okay, add update. Okay, so now we see that the web server's got it done. Now I'm going to do the movie server. It's going to be copy, and it's going to be 102. Okay, movie server 92.168.59.102. Paste the MAC address. Okay, add update. Alrighty, so this is what we want in here. So now when these guys virtual drives come up, they're going to have these particular IPs. You want them constant, you want them static. So that's why the router has to be set up this way. Okay. I'm just going to do unsaved settings just in case one more time. And that's it for this guy. So I'm just going to minimize them, not to worry about them. Okay, so we see how that works with this. So now we're set up. Let's try to, let's go and log in. Let's go start them now and make sure that we can get in. Okay, basically we should be able to have them boot up and probably start using them right away, but let's just start with local first, which is the one we actually, not an external drive. Okay. Okay, so let's go and let's log in. Not sure if I'm capitals or let's just try it. If it doesn't get in, it's okay. I got through. I just typed in the wrong password. You can set this password app after. So that's what I did. So anyhow, okay. So now let's start the services. What I've done is I've created an example. If I just double click on this, it gives me the command to use to start up the client. I just double clicked on the example in here. Now I go to terminal. I'm just pasting in what the command was in that file. Hit enter. This is how you start the system up. You only have to do it once, like I said. It's just asking for the login password. Okay, so here's you go to example, manage servers, start all. So we're starting all. This is the local virtual hard drive, which again is not sitting on the external drive, it's sitting locally on this PC, right? Just want to make sure it starts up here. Basically, the MySQL probably doesn't have to run, but we just do the start all and just have it all run. It's okay. It's not going to hurt nothing. If you ever do any changes, if you ever do any programming or something, you might be able to want to use the SQL database. Now you'll see that the FTP takes a second longer to start. It says it's not started running yet. Just hang in there, wait another minute. If after, let's say, 2 or 3 minutes it's not running, then do a start. Just select that one and start it. Usually it's just a little late. See, it's running now. Okay, so now let's just confirm that so this is our virtual box right here, right? Let's just confirm that we got the proper IP. So we go down to where the arrow up and down are, go to connection information, and you can see it's got the IP. Here's our MAC address. It's the same MAC address that we had, the hardware address, see? It's the one that we had in the virtual box identifying it. And here's our IP right here. This is what we want. We want to make sure that it's at 100. Keep it static. So that's all good. And it's up and running. So now we can just minimize this guy. Okay, so we'll just minimize him so you can see the local is running. Let's go to the web server. Let's do a start. I'm just going to X out of these guys right here. There we go. Okay, so we got the web server. So like I said, this is all configured for you. This is all just part of the setup. It doesn't mean if you're going to do it yourself, but how you start these guys, like with this part of the process, when you start it the first time, when you want to get it running, the starting process, whether it's now when you first initialize and test, or whether you're just starting the thing up, is the same. Okay, this is how you start the processes. Okay, so let's go on. Okay, so. Okay, so now it's running off of the external hard drive. And this is the 1.4 terabyte size virtual drive. The local again was set around 640 gigs. This one's 1.4, 1.3, 1.4 terabyte. The web server one. This is where you put like your home video stuff on here. The web server, the movie server is the one that you put all your movies and documentaries and stuff on. The web server is the one that you want to put all your home video and all your music, documents, things like that that you might want. Okay, so again, you'll see this example. You just double click on it. Oops. The reason why is just to get you so you can cut and paste this command. You can type the command. You don't have to have this, but I make it easier when I can just cut and paste stuff. I click on the terminal. I gotta start the process, paste, and then I hit enter. I'm just hitting enter. So now you type the password. This is your login password. Okay, so here's your XAMPP client. You go to manage servers, just start all again. You're just starting all. So this is the web services and the FTP services that are running on this virtual drive. You're just starting the services. Like I said, it's all configured and all done for you. I've done all this stuff. You don't have to do any of this. If you're doing this on your own, you're gonna have to do all that yourself. If you buy my package deal, you get all this stuff. It's all done for you. And like I said, when you when you first start up the services, you only have to do it the one time. You only have to stop and start your services is when you're doing backups, pretty much. So if you do them, I would say you should do like a full backup at least every 6 months, minimally. Like, you know, those many hours, but you just take it in a weekend, you take a day, a couple days, and you just do it. For smaller backups, I would just make sure that you've got them backed up on a thumb drive, and then when you do your 6 months, make sure you apply them all. Or sorry, not apply them all. It'll already be in there, of course, but the backup will be on the thumb drive. Then when you do the full backup, you can reuse your thumb drive. That's what my meaning was. Okay, so everything's running here. Let's confirm that our connection information, that this guy is 101. It is. Here's, you know, again, like I said, here's the MAC address. You know, our IP is 101, which is the one that we want. It's got to be static. Okay, so this one's done. So now we can minimize him. You can see the web server is running. Now let's go to the movie server and get the movie server running. I said the ports in it are already set for you. I've got them already set, so you don't have to worry about them. You just use the one URL to log on to the first page. Make it a bookmark on your tablets and phones, and then you never have to worry about it again. You just use the bookmark. You go to the one page, and then the one page you just move around wherever you need to from that page. You don't have to worry about what all these ports are and settings are. It's just one URL you go to. Okay, so here's the movie server. We're going to log in. Okay, so now we're starting the movie services. So again, it's just 3 virtual hard drives that give you pretty much, let's see, 2, 3, 4 or 5 terabytes of space, which is a lot. Okay, so I'm gonna click on this guy again. Come on. I had to do it twice. Okay, so I'm just doing a copy. I just close them. I go to my terminal. I paste it in here. Okay, enter my login password again. Okay, now this is the movie services. Okay, so we do a start all. We'll make sure that it all starts, and then just check and confirm that the IP's right in the Mac, which, well, I know the Mac's right, but you can just check the IP's right. After these are running, you could go ahead and log into your router, your Wi-Fi, you know, using your SID that you defined on your router. You know, type in that one URL, the standard URL, and you can start using this already, because it would be ready to go. But I am going to show you one more thing after we get this finished here, which is just cleaning up the launcher bar. Clean it up just a little more, and there's just a couple more system settings I want to tweak, just to make sure that it's clean running for you. Okay, it's just the FTPs always takes just another minute or so. Must be some of the configuring. Okay, so there, it's all running now. Okay, let's just make sure that we got what we said. Connection information. Yep, 102, which is good. You know, there's the MAC address. You can compare it to the paper, but I know it's right. Okay, so now we just minimize. You never close these guys. You can see it's running. So that's all you need. Okay, so now basically you can just keep this for reference. I'm just going to save and close it. Right now it's just sitting on the front here on your desktop. This guy, I would just leave him running. You can close your lid right now, the lid of your laptop, and off you go. You're using the system. I am going to come back in a minute to show you a little bit more just a little bit of cleanup to do before I close the lid. Just going to take a break here for a second. Okay, be back in a moment. Okay, so I'm back. I'm going to. This is the new PC that's being set up. So I want to do some cleanup. Just a little more cleanup on it before. Like everything's running and all that's good. The launcher task or launcher bar right here. I'm going to get rid of some of this crap on here. First of all, let's unlock from launcher, like the new document. Remember, this is going to be a server, so you don't need all this stuff. Unlock from launcher. Just want to make it a little more tidy. What's this one here? Oh, this is applications, update software. Okay, so we'll just leave that there. Amazon, take it off. Okay, so we need to go back into system settings again. Just a couple more things to fix up here. So under software and updates, okay, under here what we want to do is updates and updates, update software, uncheck all these. To do that, once you put a password in, because you're making a big you're making a decision on not updating this thing. You don't want it to. You're not going to be connected to the internet, so you don't need to. What is it again? Okay, so you want to, under software updates, under Ubuntu software, uncheck all these. You don't want any of this update stuff happening. You can go up to updates. You want to automatically check for updates, and you want never. Notify me of Ubuntu versions, never. Okay, now you're under, let's see, anything else under here? I think that's good for here. Yeah. So now we can close that one. Install software interface, close. Okay. I'm just going to go back in for a second. I want to make sure that it's okay. It's good. Okay, so that's set. So under software update, you want to do that because you don't want anything. You don't want processes running in the background trying to do updates and stuff. You don't need to. Okay, under user accounts. Okay, so under user account. You want to show my login name at menu. I just like seeing it up there. Okay. You can see up there, it's just showing the name. So I know what account I'm in. Search your computer. Okay, so now we want to put the remote thing up there. Well, I think we're pretty good for the system settings right now. We cleaned up the launcher bar. What we want to do now is we want to go to remote. We want to configure the remote for here. Desktop sharing. We're going to configure it so if we want to remote in from another machine, we don't have to like take the PC out of the box. We can just have another one that we can just remote into it. You mostly never use this, but just in case. So you want to allow others to log in. Security, you must, I gotta uncheck security, require check. Okay, so you want to set, require the user to enter password. So you type in something. It can only be about 8 characters. So let's see if I have enough here. Yeah. I would probably just do the first 8 characters of your login. That's what I'm doing here. Log to launcher. Okay, so now before I close this, because this is desktop sharing is configured, I'm just going to go to right click on this desktop sharing thing and lock to launcher. Oh shoot, I just quit it by accident. Let's try this again. Okay, so it kept my stuff. I just want to right click and lock to launcher. Now you can close it. Okay, so you can see over here that it sits, so if I ever wanted, I could just click on it right there. I don't have to hunt for it again. We already have terminal saved on here, so that's pretty good. Okay, so that was a little bit of cleanup, ready to go. So again, everything's running. That's about it. The only other thing is setting the passwords on the virtual drives if you want to set them to something different, or set them to what you're logged into or whatever. So That'll be a different video, I think. That should be good for this then. Okay, so signing off.